Imagine, just for a moment, the weight you carry in your mind before you even start your workday. The mental checklist. Did I send that email? What's for dinner tonight? Did I schedule the car repair? We live in a state of constant, low-grade mental management. Our brains have become the CEO, the secretaries, and the janitors of our own lives all at once. It's exhausting. Now, let's shift that perspective. Consider this new invention not as a gadget, but as the most capable, intuitive executive partner you could ever hire. Its first and most profound gift to you is the liberation from that relentless cognitive clutter. It works on a simple, transformative principle: proactive anticipation. It doesn't wait for you to ask. It learns the subtle patterns of your life, your rhythms, your priorities, your unspoken preferences, and it begins to manage the mental load before you even feel its weight. Think about your morning. Instead of you waking up and mentally reviewing your calendar, your commute, your first task, the companion has already synthesized all of that. Based on your first meeting's location and real-time traffic, it might glow a soft amber on your bedside table, a gentle, non-alarming nudge that leaving 10 minutes earlier would ensure a calm, unhurried arrival. It sees that you have a deep, focused project scheduled for 10 a.m. and has already silenced non-essential notifications, creating a digital bubble of concentration for you. It's already checked the weather and suggested the perfect jacket, and it's reminded you, because it knows you sometimes forget, to grab the package by the front door that needs to be mailed. This is more than convenience. This is a fundamental restructuring of your cognitive space. The mental energy you once spent on logistics, on remembering, on deciding between mundane options, is suddenly returned to you. That freed-up capacity is where the magic happens. That's where you find the focus for the creative problem that's been nagging you. That's the space where a thoughtful idea for a friend emerges, instead of being crowded out by your to-do list. That's the calm that allows you to actually listen to your child's story at breakfast, completely present, because you're not also, secretly, planning your grocery run in your head. This partnership is built on deep learning, not on commands. The more it collaborates with you, the more intuitive it becomes. It understands that a productive morning for you means blocking out time for analysis, while for your partner, it might mean catching up on industry news. It doesn't impose a one-size-fits-all efficiency. It builds a unique model of your definition of a smooth, successful day. The goal is not to robotize your life, but to offload the administrative overhead of being human. It handles the background processes, the mental paperwork, so that your consciousness, your creativity, your curiosity, your capacity for deep thought and genuine connection can take center stage. You stop managing your life and you start living it. The noise fades, and the signal of what truly matters to you becomes beautifully, unmistakably clear. Take a look around this room. Now, in your mind, imagine the light, the temperature, the very background hum of the space subtly adjusting not to a preset program, but to you, to your personal comfort, to your focus level at this exact moment. That's the promise of our second point, a shift from generic automation to hyper-personalized efficiency. This isn't about your devices getting smarter. It's about your entire environment developing a deep, learning relationship with you. Let's bring this home, literally. Picture your kitchen in the evening. You've vaguely thought about trying that new recipe. In the world of standard smart tech, you'd pull out your phone, search, scroll, and follow instructions on a glaring screen. Now, reimagine it. The companion has learned your interest. As you enter, the workspace is softly illuminated, and the recipe is projected onto the counter in front of you, hands free. But it goes further. It knows you're a visual learner, so it highlights the next step. It senses you're moving quickly and advances the instructions at your pace. It notices you've paused, confused by an ingredient, and offers a simple substitution it knows you have in your pantry. The environment isn't just responding, it's collaborating with you in real time. This principle extends far beyond the kitchen. Consider your commute. Current GPS finds the fastest route. The companion finds the best route for you. It knows that on Mondays, after a full weekend, you need a calm, predictable drive. It chooses the straightforward highway. But on a sunny Friday afternoon, sensing a lighter schedule, it might ask, "Would you prefer the coastal route today?" It's 12 minutes longer, but the sunset is predicted to be spectacular. It doesn't just process traffic data, it processes you. It synthesizes your calendar, your physiological signals from your wearable, your past preferences, and even real-world events to create options that align with your deeper needs. For efficiency, yes, but also for beauty, for novelty, for a moment of peace. This is the end of the one-size-fits-all algorithm. We've all felt the frustration of a streaming service recommending a movie you'd never watch, or a fitness app pushing a workout that doesn't fit your life. That's generic data crunching. The companion builds a unique, dynamic model of you. It learns that your most productive creative work happens not at a desk, but in that sun-drenched corner of the living room with ambient music, and it will gently guide your schedule to protect that time and prepare that space. It understands that optimizing your evening might mean facilitating an uninterrupted family game night, not just queuing up your usual shows. The transformation here is a shift from a reactive, transactional relationship with technology to a contextual, symbiotic one. Your world ceases to be a series of switches you flip and apps you open. It becomes an intelligent space that bends and flows around the shape of your life. The efficiency gained isn't just measured in minutes saved. It's measured in friction removed, in joy increased, in the seamless alignment of your surroundings with your intention. You are no longer adapting to your tools. For the first time, your entire environment is adapting, thoughtfully and invisibly, to you. Look at your hand. Now, look at the device you might be holding, or the one in your pocket. For decades, our primary way of connecting to the world's vast knowledge, to each other, has been through a slab of glass and metal. We stare down, we tap, we scroll. We live in our screens, often at the expense of the world right in front of us. This new invention proposes a radical idea. What if that powerful connection became invisible? What if information came to us, not as a demand for our attention on a screen, but as a natural layer on top of our reality? This is the third transformation, invisible connectivity. Let's make it tangible. Imagine you're walking through a historic part of town. Instead of stopping, pulling out your phone, typing and reading, breaking the flow of your stroll, you simply glance at a curious architectural detail. A soft, almost imperceptible tone sounds in your earpiece, and a gentle voice offers a two-sentence story about that very building. The history finds you. Your curiosity is satisfied without you ever leaving the moment. Or, picture yourself cooking. A recipe isn't on a phone propped against the flour canister. It's projected, step by step, directly onto your countertop, your hands free to chop and stir. Need to convert grams to cups. You simply ask the air, and the measurement appears, shimmering for a second right above your mixing bowl. The information is there when and where you need it, then it's gone. The technology doesn't create a barrier between you and the task. It becomes a part of the task itself. This goes far beyond convenience. It's about reclaiming our attention and our posture, literally. Our heads lift up. Our eyes engage with people's faces, with sunsets, with the subtle details of our environment that we miss when we're screen-bound. The companion acts as a seamless bridge. It takes the overwhelming, sometimes chaotic digital universe and carefully, contextually, lets only the relevant threads weave into your physical world. Think of the last time you were in a conversation and someone pulled out a phone to quickly check something. The social fabric tears in that moment. Now, imagine if the answer to that fleeting question, the name of that actor, the start time of the game, could simply be whispered to you without your hand ever moving, your gaze ever breaking from your friend's face. The connection happens, but the human connection remains utterly undisturbed. This is the profound shift, from interaction to intuition. We stop managing our devices and start experiencing a connected world. The digital stops being a destination we visit and becomes a subtle, enhancing quality of our immediate reality. It's the difference between looking at a map of a forest and walking through that forest with a guide who quietly points out the names of the trees and the birdsong you hear. The world becomes richer, more layered, more interesting, not by distracting you from it, but by deepening your immersion within it. The screen fades, and the world itself becomes the interface. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. How many of us have bought a fitness tracker that now lives in a drawer? Downloaded a meditation app we haven't opened in months? We know what's good for us. We have more information about health and well-being at our fingertips than any generation in history. And yet, there remains a frustrating gap between knowing and doing. Why? Because building lasting well-being requires consistency, personalization, and a gentle, supportive nudge, not just data and guilt. This is where our fourth point becomes deeply personal. This invention moves well-being from being a chore you track to a rhythm you live. Think about sleep. You know you need more of it, but knowing isn't enough. Now, imagine a system that doesn't just report your poor sleep score in the morning with a judgmental number. Instead, it learns your patterns. It notices that on nights you watch fast, paced action shows right before bed, your sleep is consistently restless. So, as your evening winds down, it might subtly fade that genre from your recommendations and surface a calmer alternative. It's not forbidding you, it's guiding your environment toward your own stated goal. It connects the dots you can't see in the moment. Or consider stress. We often don't recognize its buildup until we snap. This companion observes the subtle signatures, a slight quickening in your schedule, shorter, more fragmented messages you're sending, a change in your daily rhythms. And instead of sending an alert that says, "You seem stressed," which only adds another thing to your mental list, it acts. It might automatically protect a 20-min it buffer in your calendar tomorrow and label it focus time. It could dim the lights and play your calming playlist as you walk in the door, before you even realize you need it. It's not managing your stress. It's managing your buffer against stress, creating the conditions for calm to occur. This is the democratization of well-being. It's not about buying the most expensive biohacking equipment or having the willpower of a monk. It's about having an intelligent, compassionate framework built into the very fabric of your day. It makes the healthy choice the easier choice, often the automatic one. It helps you build habits not through rigid self-denial, but through smart, contextual support. For example, it knows your goal is to drink more water. But rather than a generic reminder every 2 hours, it learns that you always forget after your mid-day deep work session. So, as you finish that task, a glass of water is already waiting, placed there by a quiet robotic assistant it coordinates with. The habit is tied to a specific, reliable cue in your life, not an arbitrary alarm. Ultimately, this shifts well-being from a performance to be measured to a state to be nurtured. It removes the friction of self-care. The goal isn't a perfect sleep score or 10-0 steps. The goal is you feeling more resilient, more present, more in tune with yourself. It provides the invisible scaffolding, the gentle, proactive adjustments to your environment, your schedule, your digital flow, that allows your own natural well-being to rise. It's the difference between being handed a blueprint for a healthy life and having a dedicated, insightful partner helping you build it, one supportive, almost invisible brick at a time. Now, let's bring all of this together. We've talked about offloading mental clutter, about a world that adapts to you, about information flowing seamlessly into your reality, and about proactive support for your well-being. This leads us to the quietest, yet perhaps most profound, result of all. This isn't just about getting more done or feeling less busy. It's about the quality of the space that opens up when the noise recedes. The ultimate transformation is the return of something we've been slowly losing: our own attention, our presence, and the capacity for what makes us uniquely human. Think of your mental energy as a finite budget. Every minor decision, what's for dinner, did I reply to that email, where did I put my keys, is a withdrawal. Every logistical puzzle, every forgotten task that causes a spike of anxiety is a deficit. This invention, acting as that cognitive partner, effectively balances that budget for you. It makes the routine deposits and payments automatically. So what are you left with? You're left with capital. With surplus. This surplus isn't about idleness. It's about depth. It's the difference between reading a page and realizing you absorbed none of it because your mind was elsewhere, and falling into a book so completely you lose track of time. It's the difference between a conversation where you're half listening while mentally planning your response, and a conversation where you're fully immersed in the other person's story, picking up on the nuance in their voice, the light in their eyes. The companion clears the cognitive clutter so you can have that kind of conversation. With a book, with a friend, with your own child, with a complex idea at work. This is the liberation from the tyranny of the trivial. Your brain is the most sophisticated instrument on the planet, but we've had it bogged down with the work of a simple calculator and a filing clerk. When those low-level tasks are handled in the background, your consciousness is freed to do what it does best: to synthesize, to create, to empathize, to wonder. A solution to a problem you've been wrestling with might surface, not in a frantic brainstorm, but during a quiet walk, because your mind finally has the space to make unexpected connections. A moment of genuine patience with a loved one becomes possible because you're not also, secretly, wrestling with a dozen other unresolved items in the back of your mind. The transformation, then, is not in the technology you see, but in the experience you have. You will feel it not as a buzz or a notification, but as a sense of calm agency. Your days will begin to feel less like a series of reactions, and more like a conscious narrative you are guiding. The background hum of low-grade anxiety that defines modern life, the "what did I forget" feeling, simply fades away, replaced by a newfound capacity to engage with the present moment. It returns to you the most non-renewable resource of all: your focus. And with that focus, you regain something even more precious: the ability to truly inhabit your own life, to be the author of your moments rather than just a harried editor, constantly correcting typos. The end goal isn't efficiency, it's clarity. It's the profound simplicity of being able to think your own thoughts, fully and without interruption, in a world designed to help you do just that.